This is the War Brief Daily for April 17th, 2026, covering the Iran and wider Middle East theater. Tonight we are tracking 4 updates. A 10-day Israel-Lebanon ceasefire is now in effect. The U.S.-Iran ceasefire is holding, but under severe internal pressure in Tehran. Israeli military operations in Lebanon continued through the ceasefire announcement, and a major diplomatic surge is now underway across the region. First, the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire. This is confirmed. President Trump announced on April 16th that Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a 10-day ceasefire, which took effect at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Prime Minister Netanyahu confirmed Israel's agreement. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun confirmed Lebanon's acceptance. This follows the first direct diplomatic talks between the two countries in decades, held in Washington just 48 hours earlier. A direct phone call between Netanyahu and Aoun is expected today, April 17th. Why this matters? Even a short ceasefire isolates Hezbollah's operational justification and puts real pressure on Iran's ability to maintain proxy cohesion. Second, the U.S.-Iran ceasefire is straining, confirmed by multiple wire sources, including the Associated Press. The original ceasefire, which began around April 8th, expires April 22nd. Regional officials say the U.S. and Iran have reached an in-principle agreement to extend it. But that extension is now publicly opposed from inside Tehran's own war council. Mohsen Rezai, former IRGC commander and current military advisor to Supreme Leader Khamenei, stated directly, "Personally, I do not agree to extend the ceasefire. And, unlike the Americans who are afraid of continuous war, we are fully prepared and familiar with a long war." Iran's joint military chief separately threatened to halt all regional trade if the U.S. naval blockade is not lifted. On the U.S. side, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced new sanctions targeting any country doing business with Iran, calling it, and this is his exact phrase, the financial equivalent of a bombing campaign. Washington is running a military blockade and an economic siege simultaneously. April 22nd is the next hard checkpoint. Third, IDF operations in Lebanon continued even as the ceasefire was announced. This is confirmed. Hezbollah claimed over a dozen attacks on northern Israel and on Israeli ground troops in southern Lebanon on April 16th. The Israeli military confirmed commando raids, destroying Hezbollah sites and killing militants. Israeli forces also uncovered a weapons cache concealed inside a Lebanese school, per IDF statement. This pattern is well documented. Both sides exploit the hours surrounding a ceasefire announcement to reset tactical positions before the clock starts. Fourth, a significant diplomatic surge is now in motion across the region. Pakistan's Prime Minister visited Qatar on April 16th as part of a regional peace tour. Pakistan's army chief met with Iranian officials in Tehran the same day. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi called this moment a window of peace opening, and China publicly declared that reopening the Strait of Hormuz is an international demand, language that applies pressure on Iran while maintaining diplomatic cover. World leaders are reportedly being aligned for a Paris summit focused specifically on Hormuz navigation rights, and Australia quietly moved to underwrite diesel supply from Asia as an alternative route. Governments do not pre-position energy supply workarounds unless they are pricing in a closure measured in weeks, not days. Here is what to watch over the next 24 to 48 hours. First, whether the Netanyahu-Aoun phone call happens today, its occurrence or absence is itself a signal. Second, whether Tehran's hardliner bloc gains traction against the ceasefire extension before April 22nd. Third, Hezbollah compliance on the Lebanese front. Continued attacks will collapse the 10-day window fast. And fourth, watch CENTCOM for any new maritime incident in the Strait of Hormuz and monitor the Paris Summit timeline for movement. Those are your key updates for April 17th, 2026. This is the War Brief Daily.